So thank you for the response. Now let us proceed with the next practical. So the next practical is related to the HS box 2. That is the challenge. Now first thing you need to download the file. So as I already shared the link to you, I hope you have done with the download. So as you can see, in my case also the file is successfully downloaded. Now once the file is successfully downloaded, migrate to the path where you have the file. In my case, all the files that are downloaded, it is available in the downloads directory. Here I have the file hsbox2. Now what exactly you need to do is you need to import the machine. So to import, just double click on the machine. You'll get import virtual appliance. You just select on finish. Once you select on finish, the machine will be imported. So you can just power off the metasploitable too. It is not required now. So now as you can see, HSBox2 is successfully imported to your VirtualBox manager. Once it is imported, you can go to the settings. In the settings, go to the network. Configure the network setting to bridge adapter. So before you start the system, configure the setting to the bridge adapter. After that, click OK, and then you can start the HS box 2. You can go to start, normal start. You can just start the HS box 2. Import the machine. Once you have imported the machine, configure the network settings to the bridge adapter. After that, you can just start the machine. Yeah. Now, once you have started the machine, there you will get the login, that is the IP address. Okay, now here my IP address is 192.168.0.145. Now, what exactly you need to do is that you need to perform information gathering. You need to see any vulnerabilities. You need to get access to the system. Means you need to conduct penetration testing on the target. Means here my target is 0.145. You need to conduct penetration testing on the target. You need to get root access to the system. So what exactly you need to achieve is, so here, so gain root access for the machine HS box 2. Okay, you need to gain root access for the machine HS box 2. Now what you are using, what technique you are using, what resource you are referring, it is all left to you. You have got some idea, right? Earlierly I have showed you some practicals, and in the earlier sections VAPT I have showed you some practicals. Now what exactly you need to do? So try to get the root access to the system. I hope you got what you have to do. Audience, is that clear? Now Gain root access to the machine HS box 2. Initially, you will give a try. So I'll not explain you more on that. You give a try. Or shall I directly show or will you try? Will you try or shall I directly show you the machine? Audience? Audience, can you provide your opinions? Will you try or shall I show the direct challenge? Okay. Now, what you can do, you can give a try on the machine. Okay. I'll not give any clues. You need to try on your own. Gain root access to that machine. Okay. After that, I'll show you how you need to perform the activity, how to gain access, compromise, everything. I'll demonstrate you on. So first you give a try, then I'll show you. In the meantime, I'll just stop the recording. Okay. So once I start explaining you about the challenge, that time I'll resume the recording. Okay. So here my target is 192.168.0.145. Now let me switch to the Kali Linux. Now here I'll just perform scan on all the 65,535 ports on the target. So now here you can notice there are three services that are running. One is on port 22, 80 and 6880. So now let me gather few more details related to port 22, 80 and port number 6880, and here I'll just initiate aggressive scan. So in the target system there are three services that are running: SSH, HTTP, and on port 6880 some service is running. So for that I'm just doing the aggressive scan. So let me find out what are all the services that are running in the target. Okay. Now here you can notice in the target SSH is running. Okay. So Apache web server is running. The version is 2.4.7, and if you observe it is using Drupal 7. Now what is that Drupal 7? It is an content management software. Now when you want to create a website, either you can write the code or else you can use CMS. In that you'll have some templates. Through that templates you can create the web page. Now here I am getting the target is using Drupal 7, Drupal CMS. And finally there is VS very secure file transfer protocol that is running. So which allows anonymous login. And again in that you might have some pcap file is there. There you can notice some pcap file is there. Now here what I'll do, so mainly I'll first target web port, that is port number 80 instead of SSH and the VSFTP. You might ask, sir, why not FTP? See, it's simple. You can try on that. Okay, so you can try FTP SSH, that is left to you. So even if you try, you may not get any successful things. So whenever you are performing pen testing, you should not leave anything. You should try on each and everything. Let me first start with the port number 80. Now, first let me try to collect the information. I'll just use what web followed by the link, which is the IP address of the target 192.168.0.145. Now there you can see it is using Apache Web Server 2.4.7, and it is using Drupal 7 content management framework, and it is using PHP. Okay, PHP server side programming language 5.5.9. Again, if I go to the web browser, if I enter the IP 192.168.0.145, so this is the web page that is hosted. Again, if I click on extension, click on Vapalizer, so here you can see the web server is Apache Web Server, operating system it is Ubuntu, programming is PHP 5.5.9, CMS is Drupal 7. So now, so here I know that the web technology is now. What is the next thing I need to know? I'll do some research. So I'll just use search exploit. I'll just try to search from exploits. Okay, now you know what is search exploit command. Search exploit is a tool that will search for an exploit in the exploitdb.com. In this website, if any exploits are there, it will search for that. And also in Metasploit framework, in the MSF console tool, in the MSF console tool, if any exploit module is available, it will search for that. So now what I'll do, I'll just give search exploit followed by Drupal 7. That is the CMS I got. Now you might ask, sir, why Drupal 7? Why not PHP? I'll go one by one. Okay. So if I just search that, now here you can notice we have the exploit modules that are available. So if you carefully observe this, so these are all the exploit modules that are available. So if you observe that, so if the version, if the target is using Drupal 7.0, it might be vulnerable for SQL injection. Now till now we have not discussed about that vulnerability, so I'll not go with that. Okay, so again the next thing is that, so there you can see if anything we have the version, like if the version is Drupal 7, there is remote code execution. There you can see there is some exploit module that is available in your Metasploit framework. Drupal Garden. Can you see? Drupal Garden. If anything lesser than 8.3.9, there is a module called Drupal Garden 2, that is remote code execution, which is available in Metasploit framework. Now what exactly I'll do? So anyways, here I came to know there is some exploits related to Drupal 7 in the Metasploit framework. Now what exactly I'll do? So I'll just load the exploit module. So here I'll initiate my Metasploit framework console. Once I have loaded the Metasploit framework console, so first I will search for the exploit module. So again to search for that exploit module, so here I'll be utilizing the command that is the search followed by Drupal 7. So here I'll use search Drupal 7. Now there you can see there are 25 exploit modules are there. Okay. In that, let me only pick up the exploit module with the Drupal Garden. Now there you can see we have an exploit module called Drupal Garden 2. You might ask why only Drupal Garden 2? Even in my search exploit, I got Drupal Garden. Any version lesser than 8.3, you can exploit using Drupal Garden 2. So here I have the exploit code. Okay, let me copy that exploit code. Once I have copied, so here you can see there is one more thing. Drupal Garden is there. There are multiple exploits are there. Now if you observe here, so in this also, as we know that, okay, as we know that the target is version 7. So in the information gathered, the target is version 7. It is using what? PHP server side programming language. So instead of using this module, what I'll do, I'll use this. Why means here you can see if the target is 7.0, 7.31, if it is uses PHP injection method. I know that target is version 7. It is running with PHP. I'll just take this exploit script. So I'll just load the exploit script now. So I'll just utilize the command use followed by the exploit script. Now use followed by exploit script. Now the exploit is loaded. Now what is a payload? It is configured. That is PHP. I know the target. Remember, so based on the target programming language, you need to select the payloads. Now if the target is running Java, you should use Java payloads. Okay. Since the target is running with PHP payload, I'm using PHP payload. Now if I give option now, so now there you can see I need to set the R host. Okay. So here set R host. I'll take the IP address of my target. In the R port, I'll go with the same port number. L host is my IP address. And here I'll just give L port. I'll just mention something like 5555. Now in the options, all the required R host is configured, R port is configured, the target URL is also configured, which is / L host L port is been configured. Whatever is required, it is configured. Now if I run the exploit here, so if the target is vulnerable means I should be able to get the access to the system. Now if you observe there, I got meter preter session 1 is open between my system and the target. So now finally once I have the access to the system, if I give sysinfo, now there you can see you have the access to the system, that is the HackerSchool.